Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show. Today, we bring here a very special personality, a very genuine gentleman, purely by his heart and soul, someone who is very headstrong throughout his life and has $1 million smile. He calls himself as a passionpreneur. That is something really interesting. Passionpreneur. He's one of a person out of millions out there who found out his passion and made it a point to build up his passion and live his dream. He quit his job with a very handsome salary and with 15 years of corporate experience. Oh my God, that really needs a courage to leave a job at a very handsome package and with such years of experience. That is something I must say is really daring. And he discovered his love for training and coaching. He's a founder of Success Habits, as there is a saying that strength and growth with a continuous effort and struggle leads to a successful entrepreneur. So even he had his share of hard work, and with no resources, he built all the resources by brick. So let us give a very warm welcome to Dharminder Kumar. And thank you, Dharminder ji, for considering this proposal and invite to be here at the show and share the valuable insights with us. Welcome on the show.
Hi, Banit. Good
Hi.
afternoon.
Yes. So I would like to start with I want to ask you that from where did this entrepreneurial spirit come from? And when did it first struck your mind? And how did you start building your bricks? How did you lay your foundation?
Okay. So, like I was working in job, and all the people, most of the people, especially I'm coming from humble background, from farming background. My parents are farmer. So for a guy coming from farming background, for them, the entire purpose, the whole sole purpose in life was just to get a job and grow in job, become a CTO of company because I was into technical. But along the journey of my corporate career, I realized that I deserve something else, the different life. I'm not for the corporate because in corporate, when I was growing, my salary was increasing definitely, but along with that, there are a lot of things was also growing: stress, politics, even freedom. Like for just to take leave, I have to get leave from my office, from client, from my children's school, and if wife also doing something, she has to also get leave from her place, and also looking the festival ticket, air ticket, and all those things. I realized in 2016 April that it is going to be difficult because that was the time when I was planning for a vacation to go to Thailand and Malaysia, and that time you will be like it was strange for me that I could not. I had the leave from my office, but school says that sir you cannot take leave during the mid session. So that was the time I had the realization that I have to do something my own where I have freedom, flexibility. My parents are living in India. Like if I have to visit also sometime, I should have that much at least freedom and flexibility that I do when I want, where I want, the way I want, not as per the someone else's decision and all. So that was my decision.
Amazing. I mean, I can completely understand that, when you are working, then definitely you are in a very restricted environment. And that environment, you have to follow the environment, you don't have any choice. And if you break those environment, then that is definitely not conducive. You are judged all the time, and it's not feasible for an organization. So yes, I can completely understand with that. So what have been your failures, and how have you coped with them? Because as an entrepreneur, I understand that we do learn from the success, but there's a lot that we learn from the failures of a person.
Yes. So that is what I also believe, that we will learn more from the failure. And the society where we live in, pe- people consider failure is bad. So I'll tell you my biggest failure. So when I decided to do something on, I left my job for a business. I was doing some business, e-commerce based business, and I saw the potential in that business. There were so many people was earning, and I thought that I will also earn, because this is going to give me freedom, flexibility, and income also. But I could not succeed. I will not say I failed, but I could not succeed. Reason is that most of the entrepreneur, like if you see nowadays, they start business based on the external factor, and I call it shining object syndrome. Like they will see that okay, this industry is growing, there are a lot of opportunity, there are a lot of money, these people are becoming successful and all, and based on that they decide to do. But what I realized later is that no one can succeed based on the external factor. The only person can succeed if that is his or her internal calling or the purpose, right? Because when challenges comes, people face the challenges, difficulty, that is the time people give up or quit. But if someone love doing something, or if someone is passionate about, despite of all the challenges, whatever it come, they will not quit. Like if you see the situation, in same situation of GST, Notbandi, and so many things, so many people give up. They give up, right? But some people still survived into that. So the biggest my learning and advice would be that decide based on your internal calling, based on your passion, purpose, or the story, the back story, the story from the childhood, from the experience. Based on that, decide what business, which industry to start. And for this, I also advise for all the entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur, or even the existing one, to read a book called Start with Why by Simon Sinek. Every entrepreneur must read this book, Start with Why. Their person will know that whatever they want to do, what is why, what is reason. So the my advice will be, find out the why you want to do that and read that book, Start with Why.
Oh, this is so brilliant. I mean, I am just loving this insights, and I'm sure the viewers are also loving it. This is like a treasure for definitely for all those who are aspiring to become the entrepreneurs. Dharminder ji, thank you so much for sharing this with us. So, I mean, moving on. So, you are into a coaching industry, right? And you also know that this industry is at boom, and for next 20 years this will be the king. This industry is going to rule like anything. So we see that every second person, whether it's a retired person, whether it's a teacher, IT person, every second person is stepping into this industry. Probably they feel that it's easy to train, or it's easy to get into this industry. So what do you think about this, like for to become a coach, or to become a mentor, or to become a trainer? What are the qualities, genuine qualities, that are required, and to survive in this, to survive and to stay there for like 20, 30 years? Because we see in the media as well, we see people coming, and for a few years they are visible, and next few years they are gone, they're not there. So, what is the genuinity of a trainer, coach, and of a person who's into teaching? What are the qualities as well?
So you bring out here very interesting question, and something. So I would little bit explore this particular point, because when I entered into this, I did some research.
Okay.
So like we can see that we had some the initial in 1960 70 was the industrial era, right? Then it came the like in India, like people was everybody want to become engineer, doctor and all, like in 80s 90s, right? Then it comes the telecommunication, banking and all those time. Then like computer, right? Then it was like everybody from 2005 2015 everybody want to be do the MBA, right? Then it's come like e-commerce. So until 2020 we have seen the e-commerce and then app and all. Next 20 years until 2040, the era what we are entering into is coming knowledge zenith era. This is the industry called self development, self help or personal development. In USA itself it is $9 billion industry. I know 2018 $9 billion industry. How much is the conventional education industry? Any guess around the world? Conventional education in trillions. So next 20 year it is going to be, in USA it was already there since 2000. Like if you see the old like Brian Tracy, Robert Kiyosaki, Les Brown, they are the pioneer, right? Even before that in 1954, that Earl Nightingale and all. Now in India, next 20 year, it will be in this industry, there will be a lot of growth. Also, in last 1 year, we have seen the COVID coach. We can consider that so many people get into coaching just because of COVID happened. For the matter, like if there was no COVID, you might have not seen this many coach. So there are many COVID coach, right? I mean, they ended becoming coach accidentally or the opportunity, whatever it's a, but it happened because of COVID, right? And some good coach will be there and they will survive and they will grow also, right? There is nothing wrong into that. There is nothing wrong that anytime in past also we have some opportunity, like when Y2K happened, we had the opportunity. So COVID happened, so there is opportunity in this field like education and coaching. So I see good side of this. Why? Because all these happen because of the technology, digital media, social media, internet and all app. Imagine you might be knowing so many people, much educated, PhDs, lot of knowledge are there in their head or maybe in some paper. And if you consider just 2 year back, all the knowledge and everything will like it will, nobody will know, nobody will see. And now there is opportunity that is coming, people are sharing, people have the platform, that everybody is learning. This is opportunity for coach also, this is opportunity for all the professionals also, and this is opportunity for the public, because now people who are in village, they have the same level of knowledge of access. They can learn from Les Brown, like they can learn from international coach. Earlier it was not possible. For education they have to travel to city, but now in village also, they just what they need only is the mobile. So overall, for the society, for the country, for the entire population, I see this is good time, and coaching will help people in the personal development, and that will impact a lot of lives. It will be the transformation. It will be the game changer. This industry will be the game changer. And last thing I would say, I must say that we have seen in the society that society, they look up to politician, used to, no, I'm not saying now, but they used to look up to the politician, they used to look up to the sportsman, and they used to look up to the actor actress. Let me tell you, all three are failed to impact and add value in the society. They are failed. They, now in the coming time, the people who are into the personal development, coaching and training, they are the people going to impact, they are the people going to add lot of value, and they are the people going to change the coming future in India especially. They will be also into the I mean, administration, they will be into the politics, they will be into the, government, and they will change the future of India. So this is what I see.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, very apt. I must say it is to the point and to the apt. So I consider that, the celebrities of the world will be the people who are into coaching and training industry.
Yes.
So yes, to the point that what are the qualities, top five qualities required for a coach or a trainer? What, and even for an entrepreneur, if you can define the qualities for the both.
Okay, so both are separate basically. Like there are some quality which is general, common for success, that I will cover. But specifically for coaching and training, what I see in coaching and training, I am not like from years. I just started in 2019, but I have seen many people. I observed what I for as per me, what I believe is that few quality would be, the first is the authenticity. Authenticity, like I am amazed to see authenticity of some people. They share each and everything, whereas people in corporate and other coaches, they hide. They are different. In actual, they are different, and they are showing on the social media are different in terms of their achievement, in terms of their success, in terms of their value, in terms of their everything. They are different, that they are not going to last for longer. There has to be like authenticity. Authenticity is the first quality required for coaching, because this is not about selling something product. It is about the trust. It is about the changing the life of the people. So the first quality I consider is the authenticity. Second is that if somebody getting into this industry or profession by earning money, by intention of earning money, then it is not right. They can make money, but there will not impact. But if somebody is coming to serve in the society, make impact, add value, that is fundamental requirement. That instead of focusing on income or earning, focus on value, what value they can bring in people life. That is the second requirement. Third requirement and the quality is like, there has to be like, it is, this industry is growing very fast. You will see there are people who are from in this industry from 20 years. They have not made that much impact, but there are people who are just 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, and they have made the big impact. So they have to adopt the latest trend. And when I say latest trend, means that technology is the must. They have to get involved and totally, build based on that technology, that latest trend, what it is coming. So that is the third requirement, I would say. And fourth, I would say, there has to be some on discovery or on experience, not the copy paste. Like when you say on internet nowadays, everything is available. You find the presentation of time management, goal setting, or anything. Everything is there. All the content is there. I'm not saying that do not refer. There is a difference between copying and modeling. I can model someone. I can model my mentor, but I should not copy, because I will not be able to copy. And that is where most of so many people get failed. And you can see it, like whether this person is copying or what. So there has to be based on research or on experience, on learning, and there has to be something personal touch. It cannot, nobody can. Yes, if it is related to training and skill, that is when it comes the difference. There is difference between teacher, trainer, coach, mentor. So person has to know what role I am playing. If I am a trainer, yes, you can copy, because for trainer it is like the same material, everybody will follow. But if someone is coach and mentor, then they have to have their own touch. So these are the requirement on the characteristic for coach basically. For entrepreneur, I would not be able to say much about the entrepreneur, but whatever I understood, first is the start with why. in entrepreneurship also, there are two major character. There are two type of character involved in entrepreneurship. One is the visionary and second is the integrator. If you see in any company, behind any company, one person will be visionary and there will be other person who is in background and he is the integrator. So person has to understand whether I'm visionary or integrator. And for that, I would advise another book for all the entrepreneur to read, go through it, that, and that is amazing book. There is checklist also, the questionnaire also, assessment also, where you can assess yourself whether you are visionary or integrator. So visionary, we will be doing the planning on big level. Integrator will be the person who are in responsible for execution level. So the book is Rocket Fuel. Name of book is Rocket Fuel. So person has to, they must assess and check whether I'm visionary or integrator. So if you are visionary, then you need integrator. Integrator could be partner or employee, but you need integrator. A visionary cannot be a good integrator. Integrator cannot be a good visionary. So they two person is involved. Maybe in beginning one person can handle, one person can play both role, but eventually they must have the integrator or visionary. That is where I see most of the organization which are successful, like Ola, two people, two friends, like this Red Bus, two, three people. So on front we see one person who is visionary, but in background there is integrator always, right? So for entrepreneurship, like that they have to identify, and also like it should be based on the solution, what problem you are solving. The only funda, only success works in the entrepreneurship is that what is the problem and what is the solution. If anyone solving any problem, they can be successful. Now they have to identify, if they are solving small problem, they will have the small growth. If they are solving big problem, they will have big growth. So there are two ways to earn millions: either solving millions of problem or solving one problem of millions, right? Either solving problem for millions of people, like Amazon. Amazon is solving problem for millions of people around the world, right? Amazon is what is Amazon? Why Amazon is number one? Because Amazon has solved the problem of consumer. What was the major problem of consumer? They have solved all the problems. No need to go to the market, variety, return, all the problems. They have solved all the problem. That is why they are number one.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, this is very enlightening. And to our viewers, I'm sure they are enlightened and who are looking to start to build their bricks, who are looking to build their empire. This is the perfect. This is the perfect wisdom that is coming to us and reaching out to the millions of people who want to, build their own and follow their own dreams. So, Dharmender ji, I want to know, this is out of my curiosity, that how is it for an entrepreneur working in the comfort zone or working out of comfort zone?
There is nothing happen in the comfort zone. No creation, no growth, nothing happen in comfort zone.
But Dharmender ji, that is what I mean. Having your own freedom and having your own flexibility, does that not define a bit of your own comfort zone?
So I'll explain this. So first of all, if anybody want any growth or difference, right, cannot stay in the same comfort. A baby is most comfortable in the mother womb, stomach, whatever you say. Coming out to this world is the painful process for baby also, not only for mother but for baby also, very painful, right? But the life is out of the comfort zone. Any place, anywhere, if somebody want the comfort, okay, look at that like whom you want to be. Somebody want to become like Mukesh Ambani or Dhirubhai Ambani or Sachin Tendulkar or Shah Rukh Khan. Check their lifestyle, check what they are putting. People are saying that okay, he's like that, but if you want to become like that, become like him, you have to do, or you must do like him. So check what they are doing, and then you will see, are they are in comfort. Sachin Tendulkar was in comfort. He missed all the birthday party or anniversary or festival and all. There is no comfort. There is nothing called comfort. Flexibility is different thing. Flexibility is also harmful. So first of all, comfort, forget the comfort. Somebody can be either in comfort or be successful. Can't be both. It can't be both, literally. It cannot be both together. And flexibility is something different. Flexibility, it is conditional based on the situation, like with what context we are talking the flexibility. So if you can tell me like the context, then I can explain. But flexibility is also, see, anything, I'll say anything looks simple or easy is dangerous. Anything looks difficult, that is where it is the growth and success. If flexibility looks for you simple, easy, then it is dangerous. But flexibility for something is difficult, then there is a growth or success or something good is there. So there has to be context for everything.
Brilliant. Our youth definitely requires this kind of enlightenment and eye openers, because people tend to look, especially the youth, tend to run after something which is very easily available nowadays and easily accessible. So yes, this is something which needs to be brought out, and that is what you're doing even through your venture and through the topic of yours, that is success habits. So this definitely highlights, I believe this is one of the points that highlights that what is the genuine habit that is required to, step ahead in life or to climb the ladder of life. Isn't it? Yes, Dharminder ji, do you agree with me as well?
Yes. So that is why I have created a ebook called Three Secret of Success Habit. Three Secret of Success Habits. And that is applicable for everyone. It is applicable literally for everyone, whether somebody is a student, homemaker, working in a job or a business. It is applicable for everyone. Just three secret. Like in life, there could be so many habits, but three habits what I have written included in that. So I would explain you what those three habits, and that will be applicable for everyone, whether entrepreneur, students. You spoke about a student and youngster, everyone. So those three habits are, the first habit is having a rituals, daily ritual, following a daily ritual. We never learned this during the childhood. Now I see that at least youngsters are in better situation than us, because when I was in 10th, I have to look up to my senior or my uncle or teacher to know even anything, when that particular person was born or how this happened. For a simple question also, we have to look up to someone, right? Teacher, uncle, or anybody. Nowadays, everybody has all the information in the fingertips, right? So youth are living in the greatest era. I mean, no one has lived yet and so far till now in the era when youth are living, right? But at the same time, there are some side effect also. So I'm not going to the side effect, but so three habit anyone can adopt is, the first, having the daily rituals. When I say rituals, means having some set routine of activity, whether person is doing the like meditation, exercise, reading books, visualization, affirmation, gratitude, or any kind of rituals, prayer, you know, any kind of ritual, person must have that few rituals on daily basis. Rituals for morning, ritual for day, and most important, ritual for the evening after dinner. So I explained in that program, the habit program and morning ritual program. that I ask question, what time your day starts?
Okay.
What time your day starts? So people say I start at 10 a.m. Somebody say 8 a.m., 6 a.m. I say no. Your day starts from night. Before you go to sleep, 1 hour before that. That time your day start actually. The effect or impact of today is not from today. It is from yesterday night when you went for sleep, 1 hour before that. So there, because that is the call with the emotion, you go to sleep, it has effect on the next day. So that is where I defined rituals for morning, rituals for evening. So everybody must have the rituals. Then second habit, what I say is the people should learn how to manage the time, respect the time and manage the time. Any successful people, even in Bhagavad Gita also, it must have been written that something related to time, because time is precious. Anyone can have lot of money, but nobody can have more than 24 hours, right? So person should first of all learn how to manage the time, and not only that, person should learn how to earn the time. What is the difference between an individual employee and a businessman? As an individual employee, they have 10 hours to do whatever they want to do. But Mukesh Ambani have, if he like 1 lakh employee, so 1 lakh into even 5 hour everybody is putting every day. 5 lakh hour he has. His growth, the success, revenue, he's getting out of 5,000 working hour. But as an individual, they are getting out of only maximum 10 hours in a day. So that is why person should learn all the magic behind the time. People focused on earning money. Who focus on earning the time? Businessmen. They focus on how I can have more people so that I will have more time, because time is equal to money, right? So that is the second habit. And the third habit is that we, especially Indian, start from child. I mean, start from young. Okay, we cannot say youngster now. Youngster they are doing what I'm going to tell, but especially the mid-age people. The third habit I said and I wrote is the reward and celebration. We do not reward ourselves. Our soul, our desire some recognition, some appreciation, some reward, right? We achieve lot of things. We do every day, so many things, but we never reward. But we must build this habit to reward. Like people see success means when getting qualified in IIT or IAS or having big, business or something. No, every day people are already getting so many times successful. So here I will take few minutes and I will define what is success. Like somebody, if he wake up early in the morning, that is the success. Because at the same time, so many people could not wake up. If somebody can walk, that is the success. Because on this planet, there are so many people, they cannot walk. If somebody can identify who am I, where I am, my family, house, everything, that is the success. Because people cannot, so many people cannot. If somebody can see, somebody can do things by his own, somebody has hand, leg, that is also success. I consider it a success. Somebody want to make a call, talk to somebody and he can listen, that is the success. So on day basis, when we eat food and digest, that is the success. If we can breathe, that is the success. So on daily basis, we have to reward ourselves for small things, appreciate. And that is where I say wrote and emphasize on this reward and celebration. Celebrate at the end of the day when coming back home. So I had this sometime habit, like when I was in Dubai, after going back to home, before dinner, like dinner is on table, we will play a song, chicken dance. If you do on YouTube, you will know chicken dance, and we will dance for 2 minutes, everybody. Then eat food and then celebrate. Every day is the success. So everyone must celebrate and reward self, reward family, reward child, reward parents. with something, with words, not necessarily with expensive gift or something. Just by words. The best reward is this one, right? So this is the 3 habits to get excel in any area of life: having rituals, managing the time, or learning the how to optimize and make best out of the time, available time. And third is the reward and celebration. So these are the 3 habits.
Beautiful perspective, I must say this. And I, with this, I can remember of a quote which says that successful people don't do different things, they do things differently. And this
Yes.
is what I can gauge from your talk, from the talks that you're sharing with us, the insights. Also, there is another quote which is coming to my mind, which says that habits is something which either will make a person or either it will break a person. So, yes. And I was about to come with that question that how do you define success? But you answer it by all yourself. So, thank you so much about that. Um, Last question from my end would be that what is the final your take as an entrepreneur, and what is your final advice basically you want to keep in front of the world and make them aware about? So the 3 rituals, I mean the 3 habits that you shared, apart from that, what would be your final words which enlighten the audience and which would bring that make them decisive to go for entrepreneurship and not just stick to job? There are many of them who want to quit their job and go for entrepreneur, but something that is holding them back, something that they is not able, either it is because of the funds or they don't have the they have the courage, but they're not able to decide to go for entrepreneur. So what would be your final take on this for them?
So if somebody is not able to decide, which that indicate that they are not yet ready, right? So if they are not ready to decide, don't take. Something is not yet ready. And the advice I would say, before entrepreneurship journey or later, always focus on self development, self growth, self learning, because anyone can do. Biggest investment is the self education, right? So if you see, like we look up to Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, or anyone, they focus more on the learning. They read at least 1 book in a week, or some people reading 5 books, right? So reading is must. Learning, training, self education is the must, despite of anyone at whatever position, whether it into job or business. Because whatever I am today, I mean, we get out of what I am, not what I do, right? Anything happen not to me, it is happen because of me, because what I am. I'll get my worth, the amount how I am valuable, I will get that value. So always focus on learning, education, training. Find the mentor, the best thing. So the best advice, learn, find the mentor. The mentor will take you to the finish line, where and people see that mentor and all, it is only for like a sportsman or just for training. No, it is for businessman also. All the successful businessmen, they have a mentor. Maybe on the news and Google we don't get to see it this, but all the successful people, they have the mentor. I was talking about that red bus na. Why because I studied the red bus story, the Faninder, what is his name, Faninder. Because he was just simple guy. He faced some problem, and he realized that there are so many people must be facing this problem. So what is the solution? And he designed the solution. Like Oyo founder, he faced some problem that when we go to these places like tourist places or the historical places, everybody facing the difficulty to stay. He faced the problem and realized that this problem is being faced by so many people, and that is why he started working on that. Ola, he faced the problem that he could not get the taxi, and that is why he decided to work. So anyone, entrepreneurship has to be based on either the problem you faced or something related to personal stories. That is why I say that it has to be internal, not based on the external. So to advise, entrepreneurship journey has to be from personal based specific, then only you can survive, and then only you can face. And second is always learning, keep learning, and self growth, focus on for self growth. This is to advise.
I'm sure the viewers have put their thinking hats now and thinking that what problem they can solve for the world, what solutions they can come up with. So definitely, I wish I could have had a more questions to you and gain more insights, but due to the time restrictions, we cannot proceed further. So thank you so much, Dharmender ji, for coming here live and for giving the best of the best advice to the viewers.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed interacting with you. So thank you very much.
All pleasure mine. And everyone, we should catch up with another interview tomorrow with a new person and have and learn bits by bits and make the progress in life. Thank you, everyone. Signing off.